All right, good afternoon, everyone. Let's get back on the record with the first appearance. And for all of you who are here for first appearance, just please speak with your attorneys before speaking on the record. Let's begin with Ashley Rivera.
She's approaching, Judge. She's here at Maine.
All right, Ms. Rivera is before the court on a trespassing charge. It's a first-degree misdemeanor. I find probable cause.
Judge, after speaking with Ms. Rivera, she wanted to know if the court would consider resolving this matter today. So she wanted to see if the state had a plea offer for her.
Okay.
But I know she's been through a lot. Offer of the adjudication time served. No.
Right. All right, adjudication time served.
Judge, she wishes to accept the state's offer.
All right, Ms. Rivera, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, you can put your hand down. And Ms. Rivera, you understand the offer that has been extended to you?
Yes.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, ma'am.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No.
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, ma'am. I'm good.
You understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No, ma'am.
And do you understand that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today, it will subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, ma'am.
What plea do you wish to enter, guilty or no contest?
No contest.
I accept your no contest plea. I find that it's freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence is adjudication time served. I give you 6 months to pay your court costs. Yuli Carpio.
Judge, I've been advised she bonded.
All right, Ms. Carpio bonded. I find probable cause. Moise Shinika.
He's approaching, Judge. She's here at Maine. On up.
All right, Ms. Shinika is before the court on a unlawful possession of personal ID of another. Number 2, fraud, using ID of another without consent. Number 3, grand theft. Number 4, possession of blank or fictitious unlawfully issued driver's license. I find probable cause for these charges.
Judge, after speaking with Ms. Shanika Moyes, she did give me phone numbers of her boyfriend and friend. I'm going to be calling them after court to help her post her monetary bond. My understanding is she has a relatively clean record. I'm just going to ask her on count 1 if the court would consider an ROR on that misdemeanor offense alone.
I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Okay, so ROR on count 1. The other bonds will remain in place. Is it correct? Is Shanika the last name? Is that correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
No.
No.
They
No.
made a mistake, ma'am. For some reason, they switched my name up.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking. So the last name is really Moyes,
Yes.
and then the first
Yes.
name is Shanika. Okay.
Yes.
All right. Bailey Robinson is the last
Ms.
name.
Robinson. Come on up, ma'am.
Shakardra Bailey Robinson. Ms. Bailey Robinson is before the court. Charge 1 is grand theft auto. Number 2 is dealing in stolen property. Number 3 is driving while license suspended. And I find probable cause.
Judge, in speaking with Ms. Bailey Robinson, I'm going to be contacting the father of child to post a monetary bond. She does have priors, but I'm still going to ask her on count 3 alone if the court will consider an ROR just on that matter.
All right, I'll grant the ROR on count 3. Tony Ann Bushy.
North Broward, Judge.
All right, Ms. Bushy is before the court on 1 charge of possession of MDMA. I find probable cause.
Judge, unfortunately, I didn't get a chance to speak with Ms. Bushy to see what she could possibly afford as far as bond is concerned.
Your Honor,
Yes,
I'm sorry, Mr. Reed.
No, go ahead, Deputy.
her bond
What's
has
that?
been posted?
Well, then I guess I don't need to speak with you, Miss
All
Bushy.
right,
Good
well,
luck.
then I
Don't miss
find-
court.
Actually, that's why you did speak with me.
You're the best,
Sorry.
Deputy.
All right, I find probable cause your bond has been posted. Sylvia McGee, Ms. McGee is before the court. Charge 1 is false ID given to law enforcement. Number 2, violation of felony probation. That has a no bond hold. Number 3 is a misdemeanor KPS. You have a $500 bond, and then number 4 is a violation of probation as well. And that also has a no bond hold. So I find probable cause, and I'll leave the standard bonds in place, and you have court on the 23rd. Okay? Giovanni Caldwell.
Mr. Caldwell, come on up, please. Please approach the judge.
Mr. Caldwell is before the court on 2 misdemeanor cases. They were issued for not appearing for arraignment. He has a total of $1,000 bond, 500 on each count.
Actually, Mr. Caldwell, he wishes to resolve these matters. We want to see if the state had a plea offer for him.
Okay?
Yes, the documented offers withhold court costs on each count.
Okay?
Judge, and Mr. Caldwell, he wishes to accept the state's offer.
All right, Mr. Caldwell, please raise your right hand. Do you swear or affirm to tell the truth?
Yes,
Okay, sir, you can put your hand down. And, Mr. Caldwell, do you understand the offer that has been extended to resolve your case today?
yes.
Is anyone forcing you to resolve your case?
No, not at all.
Are you under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
No, not at all.
Do you need any more time to speak with your attorney?
No, I'm good.
You understand that you have the right to go to trial, but by taking a plea today, you are giving up that right.
Yes.
Have you ever been treated for mental or emotional illness?
No.
And do you understand, sir, that if you are not a U.S. citizen, that by taking a plea today will subject you to deportation or immigration changes?
Yes, I understand.
What plea do you wish to enter, sir? Guilty or no contest?
No contest?
All right, I accept a no contest plea. I find that is freely and voluntarily given. Your sentence serves adjudication, withhold adjudication and court costs.
Our Spanish interpreter is present, Your Honor.
Who needed the Spanish interpreter?
There is a gentleman who is up in North Broward who would show, my docket shows no paperwork, but he's there. His name is Santa Marina.
Oh,
Your Honor, this is,
I actually, yeah?
you don't have paperwork on it?
Santa Marina, he's on page 5.
See, and this is. No, that's what we had this morning. It's for the tampering with the victim. And, Your Honor, this is. Yeah.
So I have a Mr., all right.
Do you have a PC affidavit?
All right, I don't have a PC affidavit, but I have a KPS that says charge 1 is tampering with a victim and number 2 is false imprisonment.
Frankly, Your Honor, I don't know why we had to reset this. We had another case this morning where Your Honor wrote in the change of charge and set the bond back.
On this
It was a
person,
different case. It was Mr. Walker this morning, but my point is we could do the same thing here. As long as, does confinement have a copy of the PC affidavit? So that way you can see the allegations and set a bond on the false imprisonment, And I'll advise the court what the bond was originally set at on,
All right, so for Mr. Santamarina's purposes,
sure.
De Señor Santa
let's
Marina.
start from the top.
Vamos a comenzar desde un principio.
All right, so Mr.
Y el señor
Santamarina
Santa Marina
is here
se
this
encuentra hoy
afternoon.
aquí en la tarde.
There's an ad
Hay
charge
un cargo adicional,
for
una
false
acusación
imprisonment,
adicional por restricción a la libertad
number,
o aprisionamiento.
count
sin
number
motivo.
one is a
El cargo
change of
número
charge,
uno es un cambio de la acusación,
tampering with the victim.
que es interferir con la víctima.
Your Honor, if I may.
Yes,
When he was first arrested,
Cuando fue arrestado por
he
primera
was
vez,
charged with the burglary of
se
the
le
battery.
acusó con escalamiento y agresión agravada.
And the court found proof evident or presumption great and ordered him to be held no bond.
Y el tribunal encontró que había una presunción evidente para retenerlo sin fianza.
Therefore, the tampering
Por lo
also
tanto,
became a PBL,
La
punishable
interferencia
by life offense.
se hizo un PBL, que es sin fianza.
And Your Honor found proof evident or presumption great for that charge and held him no bond
Y
as
su
well.
señoría también encontró causa y presunción para eso, evidente para eso.
The state declined the burglary with the dwelling with assault charge.
La Fiscalía Estatal, con conocimiento, desestimó el cargo de escalamiento
So
y
now the
agresión.
top count is a third degree false imprisonment.
Por lo tanto, ahora el tercer cargo y el cargo modificado es
And the,
un encarcelamiento falso
the tampering would therefore be a second degree felony, Your Honor.
de tercer grado y la interferencia con la víctima sería un delito grave de segundo grado.
So he is now entitled to a bond on that charge.
Y él ahora tiene derecho a que se le conceda fianza por esas acusaciones.
what is the state asking?
¿Qué solicita la Fiscalía Estatal?
Your Honor,
Su señoría,
just so you know, Your Honor
para que
said
sepa,
$5,000 on
su
the
señoría
on the
fijó
battery count that the
$5,000
state did file as
por
charged.
el cargo de agresión.
On the, I would ask for $5,000 per count.
Yo
on the other two,
solicitaría
the, false
5,000
imprisonment and the tampering with the,
por cargo por los otros dos, y a esos me refiero por el encarcelamiento sin fundamento o restricción a la libertad y la interferencia con la víctima.
So currently, with the charges that
Actualmente,
the
con
state
los
has
cargos que la
declined,
Fiscalía ha
he has a
desestimado,
total of already
tiene ya un
a
total,
$5,000 bond?
una fianza de $5,000.
that is correct.
Eso es correcto.
Okay.
And I am on the phone with his attorney.
Yo estoy en el teléfono con su abogado.
I looked him up on Odyssey and
Lo
there was a
revisé en
notice of
Odyssey.
appearance. And,
Okay,
he would like to appear
A
by
él le
phone.
gustaría comparecer por teléfono, el abogado.
okay.
His name is George
Su nombre es
Alonso,
George Alonso,
and his phone number
y
is
su número
786
786
205
205
8104.
8104.
All right, Mr. Alonso, the judge is going
El
to call you
señor
momentarily
Alonso,
from the bench.
la juez le va a llamar en un momento desde el estrado.
Good afternoon, this is
Buenas
Judge
tardes.
Powell.
Habla la juez Powell.
Good afternoon, Judge. How are you?
I am well, is this
Yo estoy
Mr.
bien.
Alonso?
Estoy hablando con el señor Alonso, sí lo es.
All right,
Muy bien,
I was trying to get a bond hearing in front of Judge Al Spector.
no se oye lo que dice.
okay, we have a Spanish
Tenemos
interpreter,
un intérprete en español,
so I just turned
así
up
que
the
acabo de subir el
volume on the
volumen
speakerphone
de la bocina
so that he can
para que
hear
él pueda escuchar
and he can
y
interpret for
pueda
your
interpretar
client.
para su cliente.
Thank you.
Gracias.
There are two
Hay
things that
dos
we're addressing here
asuntos que
today.
estamos atendiendo hoy.
One,
Uno,
there's an ad charge
hay
for
un
false
cargo adicional
imprisonment.
por restricción a la libertad.
And then
Y
two,
dos,
there is a change of
hay un
charge
cambio de un cargo, de una acusación,
to tampering with a victim.
a interferencia con una víctima.
There is one charge that the
Hay una
state has
acusación
already declined to file, is that
que
correct,
la Fiscalía
Mr.?
Estatal
Yes, Your
rechaza o
Honor.
rehúsa
They
presentar.
declined to file the
¿Sí, no es
burglary
cierto?
with a battery, which is
Estamos hablando de
a
escalamiento
punishable by life,
con agresión,
bond,
Right.
and now
correcto,
since they filed
y eran sin
two
fianza,
felonies, and I believe one first degree misdemeanor,
pero ahora están presentando un delito menos grave de tercer grado y que es fiable. Si me permite, su señoría,
All right,
I believe what was
me
represented is
parece
correct.
que lo que se representa el abogado es correcto.
I have to apologize
Y
to
tengo
the
que
court.
disculparme al tribunal, con el tribunal.
I
Voy a,
am gonna be requesting different bond amounts than I
voy a
requested
solicitar
before I knew that there was
unas
a private
fianzas diferentes.
attorney. Not because there's a private attorney on it.
No porque haya un abogado privado interviniendo.
So the court's aware, I was
Para que el
contacted
tribunal
several
tenga
days
conocimiento. A mí me comunicaron conmigo hace varios días
by an attorney for legal aid that is representing the victim in this case.
por un abogado de Legal Aid que está representando a la víctima en este caso.
He contacted me
Él se comunicó
yesterday,
conmigo
actually,
ayer
or the day before,
o
to
el día
advise me
antes para dejarme saber
defense counsel's motion for ROR was going to be heard in front of Judge Allspector.
que la moción del abogado de la defensa para que lo soltaran por su propio reconocimiento se iba a ventilar ante la jueza Alspector.
Because it was the victim wanted to address the court because she's in great fear and has great concerns.
Porque la víctima quería dirigirse al tribunal porque tiene gran temor y porque teme enfrentar graves peligros.
Frankly,
Francamente,
because I thought the
porque
hearing of this
pensé que la
matter was
vista,
being
la
heard
audiencia
yesterday,
de agresión había sido ayer,
I never made the connection when I saw the case on the docket.
nunca hice la conexión cuando vi el caso en el calendario.
While I haven't been in touch with Mr.
Mientras que no he
Hume, who is
estado en
a staff
comunicación
attorney
con el señor
with the
Hughes,
Coast to Coast Legal Aid,
que es el abogado de planta de Coast to Coast Aid, Legal Aid,
I can
sí puedo
represent the
representar
fears that the alleged victim has,
los temores que tiene la alegada víctima,
but that is the reason I will be modifying my request because I didn't realize that I'd had communication with her attorney
pero esa es la razón por la cual modificaría mi solicitud de fianza, porque no me había dado cuenta que me había comunicado con su abogado
until just a moment ago.
hasta hace un momentito.
all right, so what are
Muy
you
bien.
asking for?
¿Qué es lo que está solicitando?
Your Honor,
Su señoría,
I'm going to be
voy a
requesting
solicitar
for $20,000
$20,000
bonds on
de
the false
fianza
imprisonment
por la restricción a la libertad
and the tampering.
y por la interferencia con la víctima.
It has been brought to my attention by the victim's attorney.
El abogado de la víctima ha traído a mi atención.
She is extremely fearful of Mr. Santa Marina Martinez.
Ella tiene gran temor del señor Santamaría Martínez.
She believes he is a direct threat to her life.
Ella entiende que él es una amenaza directa a su vida.
And I want the court to be aware
Quiero que el tribunal lo tenga conocimiento de eso.
quoting her words.
Y estoy citando las propias palabras de ella.
That she's not here,
El que ella no se encuentre aquí,
I will accept the responsibility for that, Your Honor.
aceptaré responsabilidad por eso, su señoría.
It was her desire to be present.
Ella tenía un deseo de estar presente.
She is cooperating,
Ella está cooperando.
and it is her intent that Mr. Santa Marina Martinez be prosecuted for these alleged offenses.
Y ella tiene la intención de dar hasta las últimas consecuencias con el procesamiento del señor Santa María Martínez.
I am also requesting a GPS monitor.
También estoy solicitando un monitor geográfico, GPS,
Even though he has not been, he's no longer being prosecuted for a punishable by life offense.
aun cuando ya no lo están procesando por un delito que es penable con una perpetua.
He He is being prosecuted for a second-degree felony and a third-degree felony.
Sí está enfrentando cargos por un delito grave de segundo grado y de tercer grado.
As you can see in the report there, according to
Como
the
puede
alleged
ver en el
victim, there have been
informe,
previous threats to
según
kill.
expresiones de la víctima, ella ha recibido amenazas previas de muerte.
According to the report,
De acuerdo al informe,
he has made the victim beg for her life in the past.
él ha hecho o ha obligado a la víctima a rogar por su vida en el pasado.
And you can also see the documented injuries suffered by the victim.
Y también puede usted por sí misma comprobar las heridas de la víctima, las lesiones.
Your Honor, I
Su
do
señoría,
believe the
sí
victim's
pienso
fears are reasonable,
que los temores de la víctima son razonables,
as are the bond and release conditions that the state is requesting at this time.
así como la fianza que está solicitando la fiscalía y las condiciones.
Nothing further.
No tengo más que decir, su señora sometido.
Mr. Alonso,
Muy bien,
were
señor
you,
Alonso.
did you hear all of that?
¿Escuchó usted todo eso?
I heard
¿Lo escuché?
everything.
Okay.
Todo. ¿Escuché?
I spoke to the prosecutor.
Hablé con la fiscalía, en este caso,
Sharon Lebrun. I
Sharon
filed a
Labron.
motion. And as soon
Presentó
as
una
I
moción.
filed our motion, Ms. Lebrun filed the information. The case is set, I believe in March for arraignment.
El caso está señalado para una lectura de cargos en marzo.
I reached out to Ms. Lebrun and I actually spoke to her today.
Hablé con la señora Lebron y hablé con ella hoy.
Bond because of the same reasons that the ASA court is telling you, that she wanted the victim to be there because she was very concerned. However,
Reconozco que ella quería estar aquí,
right now,
como dijo el
my
fiscal.
client is entitled to a bond. I was going to suggest, if Your Honor would consider, okay, allow my client to have his family post a $10,000 corporate surety bond.
Mi cliente ahora tiene derecho a una fianza y iba a pedirle a su señoría que conceda una fianza para que la familia postee de $10,000 y un monitor,
He will not leave the house for anything
y él no saldrá de la casa para nada
this matter in front of Judge Al Spector.
hasta que este asunto se atienda ante la juez Al
The
Spector.
witnesses on my side to refute what
Yo tengo
the
testigos
victim has
que refutan
said
lo que ha dicho la
through the
víctima
ASA to this court.
a este
Let
tribunal
Judge Al Spector decide
y
whether my
permitir
client later can have the bracelet removed. I understand
permitir que el juez Al Spector decida si puede remover el
Do you need
brazalete.
him, hold on just a moment. Hold on, Mr. Alonso. Mr. Interpreter, do you need him to go slower?
Just to pause
All right,
between one idea and
You're
another.
gonna have to go a little bit slower because the interpreter is interpreting everything you're saying so that your client understands, Mr. Alonso.
Tiene que pausar
Okay.
para que el intérprete pueda interpretar.
suggesting
Lo que estoy sugiriendo
that you
que
allow
usted
my
permita
client
a mi cliente que
to be able to post a
que
$10,000
pueda pagar
surety bond
una fianza de
and be
$10,000
on a restricted house arrest
y que
with
tenga
a
un
bond.
arresto domiciliario restringido
Him not to leave the house
y que no pueda salir del hogar
until
hasta
we can
tanto
get this hearing
tengamos la vista, la audiencia con la jueza Al Spector
in January.
en
At
enero.
that point, I will have
En ese momento tendré testigos
to refute
que
some of the
refuten
allegations
algunos de los planteamientos
by the victim in this case.
que presenta la víctima en este caso.
That way, the victim will be safe.
Así la
because
víctima
the client cannot leave his
estará segura porque mi cliente no podrá salir de la casa
without leaving because he will be subject to the bracelet.
porque estará sujeto al monitor del
Right
brazalete.
now, everything
Ahora
that
mismo,
we have in front of the court
que
are
todo lo que
simple
tenemos
allegations.
ante el tribunal son
And I'm
alegaciones
willing to have them aired in front of the division judge.
y me gustaría que se ventilen las
But I
mismas
beseech you
ante
to
la juez
allow
de
him
división
to post a bond, and I'm suggesting $10,000.
y pido que permita que postee una fianza de $10,000, que es mi sugerencia.
All right.
Muy bien.
All right, charge, the
Pues,
false imprisonment
El
charge.
encarcelamiento, la acusación de restricción a la libertad.
I am going to impose a $5,000 bond.
Voy a imponer una fianza de $5,000
The tampering with a victim
y la
charge.
interferencia con la víctima, esa acusación.
I'm going to impose the
Impongo
$10,000 bond.
una fianza de $10,000.
Though I think the no victim contact order is in place
Ah,
already.
Me parece que ya hay una orden
I
de
saw-
no comunicarse con la víctima,
So I'm just repeating it for these hearings.
pero lo estoy repitiendo para fines de esta audiencia.
And then the level 1 pretrial supervision.
Y la supervisión a nivel 1, con antelación al juicio.
All right?
¿Vale?
Thank you, Your Honor.
You're
Gracias,
welcome,
su
sir.
señoría.
I will
No hay de
advise
qué.
the family so that they can post the bond.
Oh, he's saying he'll advise the family so they can.
Yo se lo notificaré a la familia, dice Alonso.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Alonso.
Gracias, señor Alonso.
Thank you, Judge, and
Gracias,
you have
juez.
a nice holiday.
Y que
You-
tenga
you too, sir.
felices
Thank you.
feriados.
Thank you.
Usted también, señor. Gracias.
All right.
Muy
Is there
bien.
anyone else who needs a Spanish interpreter?
¿Alguien más necesita intérprete de español?
I think there's someone in the main jail, Judge.
At the main jail?
Me parece que hay alguien en la cárcel principal.
Misdemeanor second look docket.
What's the name?
Vargas.
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 All right. Yes. No?
No, he is.
Torres Vargas?
Pérez Vargas.
Mr. Vargas was arrested on
Señor Vargas fue
2
arrestado
days ago on the
hace 2
18th.
días, el día 18,
The charge is trespass after warning.
acusado de presencia no autorizada luego que se lo advirtieran.
This is one that I increased the bond to $500.
La que tenemos aquí es una en la que aumenté la fianza a $500.
Your Honor, we find
Su
ourselves in the
señoría,
same position we
nos
were
encontramos
last
en la misma
Friday.
posición que el mismo viernes pasado.
Mr. Vargas Torres
Señor
appearing
Vargas
before a
Torres.
judge on a second look
Vienen ante el juez en
for
una
trespassing at the same location.
esta es la segunda vez que está con presencia no autorizada en el mismo lugar.
He accepted
Él aceptó
offer of adjudication
una
of 5
oferta de
days county jail
adjudicación
last Friday.
de 5 días en la cárcel del condado el viernes pasado.
The offer today will be an adjudication 7 days in county
Y
jail.
la oferta sería hoy adjudicación de culpabilidad y 7 días de cárcel en la cárcel del condado,
With the hope that he understands this time that while
con
he
la
may
esperanza
disagree,
de que entienda en esta ocasión
he is not legally permitted to go back to the 7-Eleven.
de que no tiene autorización legal para regresar a ese 7-Eleven, 711.
Well, this court, I
Bueno,
am
este
hesitant to
tribunal,
take any
Yo
pleas.
la verdad que no quiero aceptar arreglos.
The response every
La
time on
respuesta cada
this
vez
about
sobre
being
esto,
entitled to going
que
to a place
tenga
that you have been
derecho
trespassed from,
de entrar a un lugar donde ya se le acusó de estar con presencia no autorizada,
present a concern for this court.
le plantea una preocupación a este tribunal.
And I don't know if there's something
No
else
sé
going on
si
that
hay
needs
otra
to be
cosa
addressed,
ocurriendo que haya que atender,
but he
pero
was here last Friday and
él
was
estuvo aquí
released.
el viernes pasado, se le dejó libre,
This Friday is here,
y
this is
ahora
not his first,
este viernes,
this is a second look on
y esta no es
another
la
arrest.
primera, es una
So-
segunda vista
So
sobre un arresto.
I'm not accepting any pleas,
No
I'm
voy a
denying
aceptar
the
ningún arreglo.
ROR, leaving the bond in place.
Estoy denegando la liberación bajo su propio reconocimiento y tendrá que postear la fianza, pagarla.
All right, is there anyone else
¿Hay
who
alguien
needs a
más?
Spanish interpreter?
¿Hay alguien más que necesite intérprete de español?
Still, Mr. Vargas, if I can address one point, Judge.
Si me permite atender.
I'm not making
dirigirme a
any
un
changes,
punto.
Mr. Romero.
Sí. No voy a hacer ningún cambio, señor Romero.
I think the court asked the
Bueno,
question, there
creo
might
que
be
el
something else
tribunal
going on, and I was gonna address
preguntó
that
que
point. But I don't know if
había
Your Honor
otra
wants
cosa
to hear that.
quizás
No,
y yo
let's-
quería atender ese
you can-
asunto.
You don't wanna hear it.
No.
No quiere escucharlo. Muy bien.
No quiere nada. No quiere nada. Es
All right.
$500.
Who else has a Spanish interpreter?
No. No one
Anyone?
else at me.
All right, thank you.
No one else? Okay.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, Judge. Thank you, everyone. Happy holidays.
Same to you. Robert Walker? Where's Robert Walker?
Judge, I think he was, I don't know if he was deleted, same exact,
Mr. Walkerman, it was handled this morning? Oh. Okay. All right, Dante Glass.
he's approaching Judge Germain.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Mr. Glass. Mr. Glass, you're before the court today. Charge one is burglary, occupied conveyance unarmed. Number two is petty theft. And number three is a criminal mischief charge. And I find probable cause.
Judge, and speaking of Mr. Glass, he had a lot to say. I explained to him today is not an adversarial hearing, today's not his trial. But my understanding, and speaking of Mr. Glass, is looking forward to having his day in court and contesting these allegations. Having said that, Judge, he's 26 years old. He's been here his whole entire life. He has strong ties to community. He graduated from Deerfield Beach High School class of 2011. He's working. He works for a company called Trojan Labor. He's been there for about 3 months. He gets paid about $50 a day when he works. He lives in Pompano Beach with his parents. He's not a convicted felon. He is a registered voter. My understanding, he's had prior contact with the system, but relatively minor offenses. Having spoken to Mr. Glass, I believe this is a case of misidentification in which a victim identified him to the police as an individual that I believe broke into her car and stole or damaged her vehicle. Mr. Glass is adamant it was not him. The victim is confused and misidentified him. All he was doing, from what he advised me, he was walking, and then he was confronted by law enforcement officers, thrown against the floor, which led to Mr. Glass suffering several injuries. We're going to be asking for the court to consider, to sign a photo order so we can photograph these injuries. And in speaking to him, there's no one that can post any sort of bond. So we're asking the court to consider releasing him under supervision of pretrial.
All right. Steve, did you wish to say anything?
Just to advise the court, Mr. Glass was arrested last year for breaking into Deerfield Beach High School. He ended up pleading out to a trespass.
Only one additional thing, Judge, and I don't know if the PC mentions this. The victim allegedly said the person stole items, and when Mr. Glass was arrested, no items were found.
All right. I'll ROR him to level 2 pretrial supervision. Sandra Reyes.
No problem.
All right. And Mr. Reyes is before the court. Charge one is DUI, alcohol, or drugs. Number two, refused to submit to DUI test. Number three, driving while license suspended. Numbers 4 and 5 are traffic infractions not for magistrate. I find probable cause. And,
Your Honor, with the assistance of our Spanish interpreter, I was able to speak with Mr. Reyes's wife, and I believe that she's already posted the bond. I don't know if that is reflected at this time.
all right, so I'll leave the bonds in place at this time.
That'd be fine. Thank you, Judge.
All
Good
right.
luck, Mr. Reyes.
Thank you.
All right, the other person on Alexandra Hogan.
Yes, Judge, she's also on our felony docket, and there's someone here on her behalf.
No problem.
All right, so Ms. Hogan is on both dockets. She was arrested on the 17th. There are two drug charges, two felony drug charges, and then there's a misdemeanor case.
The concern I think you had, Your Honor, had to do with verifiable address and also the capias, which was from an issue summons that they were never able to serve because there wasn't a verifiable address. I think you might have, Ivy, was the SAP order signed in this matter?
Yes. I believe this is one that Mr.
And I
Miller asked for SAP.
She was arraigned yesterday by Judge Carpenter Toy,
Okay,
and a status conference was set for January 10th.
okay.
And I would add, Judge, that her boyfriend is here on
She's
her behalf.
arraigned, on what?
The misdemeanor.
Oh, I'm sorry, Judge.
Okay,
Yeah, the point being, Your Honor,
the felony charges are
that's a new arrest.
just a new arrest.
Yes. The point being, Your Honor, regardless of whatever the court, wants to do on the felony, that's obviously, everything obviously today is within your discretion. But I would ask that no action be taken on the misdemeanor, since apparently Judge Carpenter Toy did have the case before an arraignment, and her judgment decided to let the case proceed.
Okay. All right.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that's
interrupt
okay.
you, Judge.
How much bond to, let's see.
It's $1,000
She
on
has $2,000, well, it's $1,000 on each. All right.
Yeah, she's not going to be able to afford to post that, Judge. As I mentioned before, her boyfriend is here to lend moral support to her. I have been trying to reach her boss. She works for a towing company, and she's indicated to me that there might be a place for her to stay that would be related to the towing company. Unfortunately, her boss's number is constantly busy. I've been trying him all afternoon. I'll continue to try him. But I do know at this point in time that she is not able to afford any monetary bond on her own. I would like to ask you, Ms. Hogan, are you in the SAP program at this point?
I am not. I am looking into going to Bark.
No, because,
She was just recommended on Tuesday.
okay. Okay. What other priors does Ms. Hogan have?
I'd have to check. Your Honor, one other option, if the court were inclined to consider, my understanding is Judge Carpenter Toy is covering Monday.
Oh, you mean,
If
okay.
possibly, if we could reset this then, and that way maybe she might want to reconsider the misdemeanor, but
Well, I wasn't gonna change the misdemeanor because since she went before Judge Carpenter Toy yesterday, I'm gonna deny making any changes on that.
and that's why I was suggesting maybe
But,
rather than deal with it piecemeal.
well, that's gonna be my ruling on the misdemeanor case. But on the felony case, I guess, if, her or her attorney wants to address that.
Well, I don't think there's really much else for me to say, Judge. I mean,
Okay.
she has a $2,000 bond. It's $1,000 on count one, $1,000 on count two. She's obviously expressed some interest to get these issues that she has going on in her life addressed, and I hope that she does that. But she's not going to be able to afford a monetary bond. I think her best shot right now is for me to keep trying to get a hold of her employer to see if something can be arranged that way.
Okay.
But if you want to, hold on 1 second, Alexandra. If you want to set her over for Monday, I certainly wouldn't object to that.
All right, well, I'll do that. I can do that.
Okay.
All right? Okay,
Thank you, Judge.
all right.
Oh, I have a question. So, am I getting released today and coming back Monday, or what's happening?
No, Monday, you still have your bond, so if you post your bond, you'll be out, but otherwise, you'll see Judge Carpenter Toy on Monday. Okay?
She's my misdemeanor, correct?
Right.
Yeah, but I have her on June 10th.
No, she'll be sitting in my seat on Monday, so you'll see her on Monday. That's, okay?
And one other thing, I do want to say, I really want to get treatment and to get help. Obviously, that's why I had what I had, because I was trying to come off of other things.
All right,
And
you may want to just keep talking to your attorney about that, okay? I think
I'm
that's,
gonna keep trying to reach your boss, over the weekend, Alexandra. I'll be here Monday as well, okay? So we'll see you Monday unless you bond out.
Did I speak to you, or who did I speak to on the phone?
That was me.
I thought I spoke to somebody else.
No, you spoke to me earlier this week and you spoke to me earlier today.
all right, Marcos Estruch on the felony docket? She might have spoken to Mr. Miller, I don't know.
Good afternoon, Your Honor.
All right, he's where? At Conte, thank you. All right, so Mr. Miller was arrested on November 5th.
Estruch.
I'm sorry. Mr. Estruch?
A lot of names get
I'm
thrown around.
sorry. You, Mr. Estruch was arrested on November 5th. Has the information been filed?
Checking that right now, Judge.
He has two cases.
Yes, Your Honor.
Is it two cases, two different?
Like, I'll
Yes.
start, 13322 was
Yes.
filed. I can tell you, filed eight of the counts. It looks like one count of burglary conveyance, and then 7 counts of attempted burglary. The jail will, they were filed today, the jail will update it once they receive it. I suspect we'll be back on a technical change of charge on the attempts.
Okay.
On the second case, Your Honor, those were all merged into the other case, so you can just grant the ROR on 134.
On which case number?
What-
414?
13414, we merged it, so you could grant the motion on that
All right.
case.
And then a total of how many charges was filed on 3322? 8?
Yes.
All right. So I asked those questions, Mr. Estruch, so just so that you have that information. There were 2 separate cases. Now they've merged some of the cases from 3414 into 3322. So I'm RORing you on the case number 19-013-414 CF10A. And then on 19-01-3322 CF10A, the information has been filed. There are a total of 8 charges. And so on that one, on that case moving forward, you'll be appearing before your division judge shortly. Okay?
Thank you, Your Honor. So I will not be leaving today. I will have to wait for the other case.
Right.
All right, thank you.
All right.
Just, yeah, I mean, and just so, and I want Mr. Estruch to be fully informed.
Yes.
I mean, he can always bond out, and now that some of the charges have been declined.
Right, you still
his
have bonds. It's just gonna be less
Yeah.
than what it originally was.
And until the change of charge capious is processed, those bonds will remain in place.
Okay. All right.
All right, thank you so much. Your
All
Honor.
right, you're welcome, sir. Patrick Ware?
Hold on, Your Honor.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Mr. Ware was arrested November 17th.
The charges were filed as presented, Your Honor.
All right, so Mr. Ware, the state has filed the charges. So your next stop will be before your division judge, okay?
All right.
All right, Jamar Williams? Where's Mr. Williams? Conti. All right, Mr. Williams was arrested November 18th.
State has not filed an information on this case, Your Honor. He is entitled to an ROR on these charges.
All right, so Mr. Williams, you are entitled to an ROR. I will sign that order today. If there's nothing else holding you in custody, you will be released. I also need to let you know, Mr. Williams, that it is your responsibility to stay in touch with your attorney, so that you can know if you have to come back to court. If you can't get in touch with your attorney, you need to go online and check the clerk's website to see if you have court. And the third thing is that you need to make sure that the clerk's office has a correct mailing address for you so that you can get your mail if they need to send you a notice of hearing. You understand all of that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, it doesn't mean that the state can't file the charges after you've been released, just means that they can't hold you in custody any longer while that's pending. Do you understand that? Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, Traverse Verit. All right, and Mr. Verit was arrested December 17th. And, let's see,
And he has $1,000 bond.
and he has
Judge, just wanna make-
$1,000 bond, yes.
Hasn't, no one's gonna be able to afford his bond. He wants to know if the court would consider releasing him ROR or ROR to pretrial. But there's nobody that's gonna be able to afford to post his monetary bond. And he's, from what he advised me, he's looking forward to contesting these allegations, Judge.
Well, I think when I saw Mr. Verit earlier this week, it was that he was, or did I read that? But he was visiting from somewhere.
That is correct, Your Honor. He resides in Orlando. I believe he declined the public defender the first time he came through. I'm not sure, but he has, maybe not, but regardless, he has no ties to the community, Your Honor, and I believe that there was also a warrant out of another location as well.
Right, I think he went to Tri-Rail, took somebody's car, is the allegations. And they followed him, then they called the cops, and they found him in the car.
The keys were in the car.
No, actually, the key was in Mr. Verit's left hand.
All right, I'm going to deny an ARR at this time and leave the bond in place. All right, and then Aaliyah Miles.
All right, Your Honor.
All right, so Ms. Miles was arrested on the 17th, and she has, well, this is one that I increased the bond to $5,000.
Yes,
So,
I believe this is one, Your Honor, where there were prior some other states. I'll check. I think there were also concerns with ties to the community. I remember this is the one where the allegations were, she said her battery was running low on her phone. According to this, the victim allowed her to come in to charge the phone,
right,
and she took her keys at that point.
yeah. All right, well, 2 days ago, I increased the bond based on what I heard. Today, I'm not going to make any changes. I'm gonna have to leave everything in place at this time. All right?
Can I speak?
Sure.
Don't discuss the facts of your case, though.
You said don't discuss the facts?
Yes, that's correct. Everything that you say is being recorded and can be used against you at a later date, even if you were to do something as simple as admit that you were actually present at the scene of the crime. That's one less thing the state would have to prove. If you want to talk about your ties to the community, that's one
I do
thing.
have ties to the community. My aunt stays out here on Jefferson Street, and I have a pinched nerve in my leg. It's documented in my records, and I'm supposed to have surgery on Monday. If I can get like pre-trial with an ankle monitor or something, I'll still be out here, but I have to go get surgery on my leg on Monday. I have a pinched nerve.
I'm always surprised that when there is something going on with you that is ongoing and you know it's upcoming, and 2 days ago I saw you and that was never mentioned.
I did mention it. He kept telling me to be quiet and stop speaking, so I didn't say anything. I was trying to say it then.
Where, you don't live here in Broward County, so where is your surgery supposed to be?
My surgery was supposed to be back home, but I came out here for a neurologist to see a specialist out here. and I can get my surgery done out here, and I can stay on Jefferson Street. I came out here to see a neurologist, a specialist out here.
So you have a surgery that's scheduled for Monday in wherever you're from, but then it can be down here? Is that what you're telling me?
When I was talking to my neurologist on the 15th, we were trying to get my surgery to be switched out here.
All right, all of that doesn't connect with me, so I'm gonna leave the bond in place, okay? Sasha Johnson, speak to your attorney if there's a motion that needs to be filed. Ms. Johnson bonded? All right, and then we already did Alexandra Hogan, all right? All right, I believe that's the end of our docket. Is there? All right, thank you. All right, thank you, everyone.